Rob Flax here. I play things with strings, I hit stuff, and I sing, and it's been about 5 months since I've updated you on the Chessboard Drum Machine. The first video I made is a really exciting reveal, but doesn't explain how the thing worked. So I wanted to update you a bit on what's going on since I made that video and how much has changed. Spoiler alert, quite a bit. Over the past few months, I have been learning a lot about sequencers and electronic music, and in particular, modular synthesis. There's quite a bit that you can do with a sequencer, depending on where you send the outputs. The previous video, I was just using what I'm gonna call version 1. We're into version 2 now. Let's jump in and see what version 2 looks like. This is Midi Chess. This thing over here on the right-hand side of the screen with all those things is Midi Chess. This is a piece of software written by Shaun McFall for yours truly. We've been working on it together collaboratively. I send him ideas, he builds a thing, I say, oh, that doesn't work, or oh, wow, it totally works, and then we make revisions. As I'm filming this, Shaun is currently working on version 3, which will have even more features, but right now what it can do is pretty astonishing. There's the DGT board. Next to it, we have the Pulsar-23 drum machine. I just put a video up on my channel showing some of the sounds and what this thing can do independent of MIDI control, but I am using it as the voice, the primary voice for the chessboard to trigger. So right now I have set up this position. A few moves have been made. We've got these knights out and the pawns out. Could go into a Roy Lopez. My test game of choice is usually Paul Morphy versus Duke of Brunswick. It's the first game of chess I ever memorized. We'll play through that in a moment, but for now let me just set the board back up, and I'm just going to do this, make a move on the board, specifically pawn to e4. Let's jump back over and look at Midi Chess. Here we are, here's Midi Chess, and as I move, you can see in the tiny little cutaway, as I move, Midi Chess is recognizing that change of position on the board, right? Really cool. The DGT technology is awesome, and Shaun built this beautiful interface so I can see what's going on. Now, let's go ahead and make those things do stuff. First up, you'll see on the left-hand side here, each of these pieces gets its own little rectangle. And when I click on it, well, I can make it either blue or red if I'm left-clicking or right-clicking. I'm going to make this a left click, and what you'll see is 16 squares have lit up because those are the squares that any white pawn could legally move to. If I move this pawn here, oops, it fell off the board. There we go. Now it shows that is different. And now we have all of these squares that the pawn could legally move to. My e-pawn has already moved 2 squares forward, so the only place it could go is pawn to e5. Now we have a 15-step sequencer. If I played black's move here, well, now we're down to 14 because this e-pawn blockades the other one, so there's only 14 legal squares that those pawns could see. This is a big change from version 1. In version 1, we just simply read from left to right with no concern for how the game is played. In version 2, your play determines how many steps are in the sequencer. So it is a dynamic sequence where the number of steps is changing per move based on how you develop your pieces. I have this assigned to MIDI CCs right now, and if I shift click, it brings up a CC message thing. This is going to change in version 3, but for now I have this sending message number 64. Okay, let's do the same here, and let's assign the black pieces to the same thing. Why don't we also have that be 64? Why not? Good. So this will both be sending message 64. Well, now I have to get creative and put on my composer hat. What kind of thing do I want to send a message to? Well, right now it's just going to step through this. If I hit play in Ableton Live, which you can see behind me, let's hit play. Boom. Now, Midi Chess is blinking and it's stepping through all of those steps. It says that both to move, which means that all of the squares the white pawns could see, all of the squares the black pawns could see, are being stepped through. There is a 28-step sequence. If I want it to be just white to move or just black to move, we can isolate just a few of them, right? For now, I'll just leave it as both. Now, you know what? Why don't we have it be a dynamic thing? Instead of both to move, let's have it be, well, it's white to move in this position, but if I make this red now, I'm using the right click, now it's white to move. And as white makes a move, let's make a move for white. the board interpreted that and said, okay, back to black to move. Well, let's make a move for black. This is the Morphy Duke of Brunswick game I'm just playing through. You can go look up the Opera Box game and find out all about it. D4. Now, something has changed. In this position, well, actually I'll make black's move. So black moved this. This was a blunder, but that's beside the point. Notice that it's white to play, and step number 8 there, this E-pawn is now a different color. Step 8 is now a target note. This D4 pawn can see this pawn and can make the legal move of capturing it, which means it's sending a MIDI note. Now, I'm going to jump back over to Chess Cam so you can see what happens on the Pulsar. Let's assign this output to the Pulsar. Here we go. I'm going to click on the Learn button. Why don't we have the pawns do hi-hat things? That seems like a reasonable choice. I'm going to hold down the Learn button. There. Now it's receiving a note. What's the tempo actually right now? That attenuator is controlling, I have it wired to just send 16th notes to the hi-hat. So if those are 16th notes, you can hear that there's an interesting relationship between these already. Why would it make that sort of strange 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? It's like an 11 couplet, maybe? I'm bad with polyrhythms. Oh, well, because there's 11 steps in that step sequencer, and every time it gets to step 8, it's triggering that note. Awesome. Okay. So now we have it receiving that message, and that's great. Let's assign something else. I think if I deselect these, that'll do. Let's have channel 2, the rooks. Let's have those sent to channel 2. And right now there's only one move that any rook could make. This channel usually takes a while to trigger. Channel 3, why don't we have that be knights? Oh, I already assigned something. Which thing did I assign? Here's some work I did earlier. Let's jump back over to the chess cam. That's the snare drum. I don't need it to go to the delay so much. I kind of like that. That's nice. Let's go to bishops. Now bishops I wanted to send to the bass channel. So I'm going to, instead of sending MIDI CCs, let's send MIDI notes. And so we'll send these. And now, white and black are sending these. It's white to move here. So let's make a move for white. I believe in this position Paul Morphy took the pawn. So now it should be black to move. And there's a thing that is triggering. Let's have the bishops learn this. Okay, so there's our bass channel being triggered by the bishops, and it's playing the note G. Why is it playing the note G? Well, if I look at the tab over here, I guess that's sending that note C. I may have to change this to be, oh, there we go. There we go. I had the Pulsar reading its own internal control voltage. Now it's receiving MIDI notes. So the note it's receiving is, can you see that there? Maybe you have to click a little bit bigger. Yeah, C3. If I change that to some other note, it'll receive that. Let's leave it on C3. If we move to a different position, that would send a different note. Now we've got our bishops doing them things. Let's add the kings. How about that on channel 5? And let's have the king. I don't know, what should we send the kings to? What do you think the kings should control? Leave a comment. In this position, we've now jumped a little bit into the future. The white queen can see a thing, so it's sending a MIDI note. Let's wire it up. How about the white queen sends to the bass drum? Yeah. Nice. So let's turn on everything now. I don't think our kings are doing anything yet, but you get the idea. We had these on channel 1. These were channel 3. Bishops were channel 1. This is channel 5. All right. So at the moment, I'm sending 6 different kinds of MIDI messages, all to different parts of this drum machine. Let's play some chess and see what happens. Wow. Okay, at the moment it's white to move. In this position, Morphy played queen b3. Now it's black to move. Well, part of the interesting bit about this game is the Duke of Brunswick didn't really develop anything. Black's not attacking Bubkis. So in this position, I believe queen to e7 was played. Now it's white to move again. We get the same stuff. Morphy played knight c3, c6. White played bishop g5, b5. Okay. Oh yeah. Ooh. Ooh.
Much later.
Black's pawn can see the knight, so we're getting hi-hats. That's all we're getting. Black isn't attacking much otherwise. So sonically, right away, we're getting a really clear indication that one side is dominating. All the activity is in white. That's how chess works. The sounds match the game. Is it a popular dance tune that you can go groove to? Not yet. So one of the other elements of composing for this is thinking about the context, changing the BPM of the overall session to match the intensity. Perhaps that could be connected to how fast the game is played. There's swing control. We haven't thrown that in the mix yet. There's also the idea of whether or not it should be 4 on a floor. Well, Pulsar allows me to do that, so let's just bring in a nice hi-hat in general to help anchor everything. All of a sudden, these interesting polyrhythms kind of make sense. Let's put a 4 on the floor in there as well. Why not? So I'm just recording this in. Let's quantize that. My performance wasn't accurate. Okay. White took. Ooh, yeah. I'm just adding some extra notes that aren't in the game because I think it sounds good. Do we assign anything to the rooks? We ought to assign something to the rooks. Rooks, make your noise. Let's do it. Let's have them control something else. What did I wire up here? There we go. That is modulating something else. So a note or a message from the piece doesn't necessarily have to be a pitch. It can be how much something is wiggling, or a filter cutoff, or how much is being sent to the delay, or how much a randomizer is brought in, or maybe it changes the key of the song. All sorts of things that you could modulate. The point is, now everything's doing something. Let's bring in the rest of the ensemble. What happened in the rest of the game? At this point, it's black to move, so I believe black captures. White moved rook. I'm making musical decisions to send more to the delay, as I did in the previous video 5 months ago, because here's where the chaos really happens, the exciting sacrifice. White to move. Oh, I messed up, didn't I? It was this. Yeah. Oh boy. I got so excited about the music that I messed up the game. In this position, what happened? Queen sack. Takes. And checkmate. So all of the sounds that we're hearing now were ones that I added earlier. There we go. Those are all muted. And we've removed all the sounds because, of course, black is in checkmate. There are no legal moves. Shaun built that in successfully to the software. Okay, so that's pretty amazing. Let's hit the stop button and come back to the rest of the world. Holy moly. Wow. So, what an astonishing thing and such a fertile ground for exploration. As you can see, the MIDI Learn implementation right now on the Pulsar is one at a time, so it really would be handy to have a mute switch or a solo button for each MIDI channel, so I can just make sure as I'm assigning things and going, you know, what if the rook should control the filter? I can just send that. So Shaun is building that. Stay tuned for updates. Really exciting stuff. In the meantime, if you have suggestions of great famous games that you would like to see what they sound like, if you have suggestions of harmonies, perhaps there's a dedicated musical opening I could write for if someone's playing the Sicilian. Maybe I compose a little melody for that and compose some specific rhythms that I enter in by hand when I go, oh, it's a Sicilian, play the Sicilian groove. Or, oh, it's a Roy Lopez, play the Roy Lopez song. Really open to suggestions. My end goal here is to put on performances where people are playing a game of chess that is improvised and I get to improvise the music with it. Hoping to do one of those performances next month. My Patreon supporters will get the details and the footage first if and when that happens. Finally, at some point I am going to try and do a performance at the World Chess Hall of Fame in St. Louis. So when this is ready to take the show on the road, expect that there. I'm excited to play at chess clubs around the country and around the world, particularly because they already have DGT boards everywhere, so I don't have to travel with mine. I can just show up and backline the chessboard. There's a sentence I've never expected to say in my life. I can backline a chessboard at the gig. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave comments and questions. This is a brand new thing that's never been done before. Sonifying the game of chess in this particular way is brand new, completely uncharted territory. I'm really excited about it. So leave your questions and comments so that I can dig in and we can find out more together. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. That helps the algorithm. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Congrats to the winner of my giveaway. I recorded that earlier today on live stream, so if you haven't watched that giveaway to know the results, check that video out. When we get to the next milestone, I'll give away more stuff, so subscribe. And thank you again to my Patreon supporters. You make all of this possible and have kept me sane over the pandemic. All right, that's it. See you in the next one. Bye.